I am Christy Leisure, the current president of the Area Progress Council. We're very happy to have you here tonight. How are my recipients doing? Butterflies? Are we good? All right, deep breath in. Don't forget to breathe. Deep breath out. I told my husband, I'd say, something like, I'm pausing to give Arliss some minutes here. Told my husband I would say something like, a little bit of meditation helps. You just place your hands in your lap, close your eyes, deep breath in for 4 seconds. And I said, well, if there's somebody next to you, you can put your hand on their laps. Maybe it would help you calm down a little bit. Loved ones, husbands, wives, give me a break here. All right. So we're all here for the celebration of the 35th Project Excellence Teacher Recognition Banquet. I'm sure you all have your cell phones here tonight with you. Please take a moment to make sure it's on vibrate or silent. We'd appreciate that. Also, those of you on Facebook, we would invite you to like and follow Project Excellence. If you're taking any pictures tonight, please post and tell them what a great evening you're having, celebrating all of our wonderful educators. Let me tell you a little bit about Area Progress Council. We were incorporated in 1969. Our mission is the study, investigation, and promotion of activities that help Warren County prepare for the future. We're celebrating 53 years. And this continues to be our resolve as we are advocates for the business community and most certainly education in Warren County. APC has assisted in bringing several projects to fruition, all focusing on the future of Warren County. We have played a part in the formation of the Warren County Park District, the Warren County Big Brothers Big Sister program, Little Miami Incorporated, the United Way of Warren County, the Warren County Career Center, and the annual Warren County Economic Outlook Breakfast. We created the Warren County Community College for 2 years and then chose Sinclair, I saw Madeline here, Community College to serve Warren County, and they have big plans for the Courseview campus in Mason. We appreciate all that you do. We developed an adult leadership program, Leadership Warren County. Now it's in its 19th year with a 10-month program that's designed to educate leaders about our county, the regional issues, as well as enhancing their personal leadership skills. Could I ask how many of us in the audience, with show of hands, have attended or taken the Leadership Warren County class? Nice. Looks like we still have some people that we can recruit. All right. Our latest endeavor was funding the Rachel A. Hutzel Observatory to house a university quality telescope at Camp Joy. The trades actually here at Warren County Career Center helped build this building for us. So that was a great addition for us. We must take note that the future of our country will one day be in the hands of our youth. And these young minds are currently in the care of the dedicated professional men and women within the classrooms throughout our nation. And recognizing this important role of the classroom teacher, the business community in Warren County developed this program to identify and financially reward public educators who are exceptional in encouraging our students to think and learn. The Project Excellence Endowment was conceived by the Area Progress Council's Educational Committee in 1986. $1 million in pledges were solicited from Warren County business, industry, and individuals in 1987. The first banquet was held in 1988, and the funds remain financially strong and are currently managed by the Warren County Foundation. Now, if you'll please stand, we are going to have Ella Kittle and Ashley Back from Franklin School District sing our national anthem, and then continue to stand for our Pledge of Allegiance. Ella and Ashley, thank you for being here. Oh, take your time. No worries.
Sorry, I didn't warn you. 2, 3.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Now, if you'll join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. Now, please help me welcome to the stage Jonathan Sams, partner with Sams Fisher LLC, who will give our invocation. Hey, Jonathan. Good to see you.
Let's pray. Father God in heaven, tonight we thank you for your hand of blessing in giving us a land of peace and of plenty. We thank you for your hand of providence in providing us with excellent teachers who are here and dedicated to teaching our children and the next generations. We ask that you give them strength and courage and vision and perseverance to continue this important mission. We ask that tonight, this be a night of encouragement to them, the best of the best. We thank you for this night to thank them for the work that they do. We ask your hand of protection on the people who are in lands of conflict and people who are displaced by that conflict. We ask that you bless the food to our body tonight. In Jesus' name, amen.
Now I'd like to invite to the stage Bill Thornton, who is our current president of Project Excellence Advisory Board.
Thank you. Well, tonight we gather here to celebrate 20 excellent teachers in Warren County. I'm grateful that you chose to be with us tonight. Join us in this celebrate what is good in public education. This evening is devoted to thank those committed individuals whose life work is to spend day after day inspiring our children and our grandchildren to explore the world of learning. The earnings of this endowment have allowed us to award a total of over $550,000 to over 700 teachers who have been selected since 1988. 43 of those have been selected multiple times. Tonight, each educator will get 2 checks totaling $750. One check for $500 is made out to the teacher to use as they choose. A weekend away, trip to the gas station, whatever they decide. It's their personal bonus. The second check of $250 is payable to their school district to be used as they decide, whether it's a pizza party, some books, a program, a field trip, whatever they designate is how that money is to be used. And we hope that once again, Come next fall, we'll be able to take our teachers on what we call our VIP field trip to Columbus to meet with the Ohio Department of Education, all the officials there, and we'll meet with our local legislators, and we'll tour the Capitol building. All these meetings are structured. It's open dialogue, and the teachers are encouraged to ask whatever questions you may choose to those people we're with. And if all goes well, the National Federation of Independent Business will sponsor our lunch while we're there at the athletic club. This is an eye-opening trip, and is well worth the time out of the classroom for you teachers. And we are the only county in Ohio that does such a thing for our educators. Now I'd like to call on Project Excellence co-founder Walt Davis, and he will explain the teacher selection process.
Thank you, Bill. First of all, you should know that practically all of the remarks here tonight are scripted, except mine, and makes Arla quite nervous. And I just wrote my speech on the back of this yellow sticky note. For those of you teachers who are nervous, don't sweat it. I'll make the first mistakes, and you're home free after that. You might wonder, ask yourself, how did I get here? Many years ago, some of us were challenged by leaders of the Area Progress Council to come up with a way to close the gap between the business community and the education community. I'm getting a little feedback there. Can you all hear me okay? Okay, good. I see heads shaking. Back up a little bit. Okay. And you know, we looked at a lot of things, and there was always the brute force approach of raising money for scholarships or buying copy machines for schools. That's money that's basically one and done. You raise it and it's gone. And being business people, we thought, you know, that's really not using leverage in the business sense. Leverage is a very good thing, where you can make your dollar do a lot more work than normal. So we came upon the idea of why not rewarding teachers for excellence in teaching? And for every life of a teacher that we touch in that way, we touch the lives of thousands of students, and not just once, not just in that 1 year, but essentially forever. And that sounded a lot like leverage to us. So we started asking around the various businesses, you know, what do you think of this idea? We have no data to prove that this would work. It's just a gut feeling. And amazingly, businesses said, you know, we kind of like that idea. We believe in it. That's sort of how we work. A lot of folks have asked along the process, why cash? Teachers are satisfied with recognition. And true or not, I don't know, but cash in the business world is our language. It's how we speak to each other, and it's how we measure our performance and the performance of others. And we thought, let's just put our money where our mouth is and see what happens. So we were able to raise, the endowment is now standing at about $1.5 million. And these awards come from the profits, the dividends, and so on that's earned by that fund. So it's there forever. It's there in perpetuity. It'll never go away. So not only do we have the leverage aspect, but we have the permanence aspect. And the donors love the idea that their money would rest in the endowment in perpetuity, not just be raised 1 year, given away, and then maybe come back again the next year. So that worked a lot of magic, and the fundraising was easy. The project sold itself. I even had prospects where when I met with him, I was always the most nervous about making the right ask. Should I be asking this person for $1,000 or $50,000 or somewhere in between? And I never got turned down. In fact, there were several times when I got back to my office and the phone would ring, and the person I just talked to would say, double that pledge, which almost never happens. So how did you get here? We spent about a year meeting every Friday morning at 7 o'clock, a team of business people in Warren County to develop a program to select teachers for excellence that was fair and appropriate. And we had consultation from Miami University, Department of Education. The chair of the department sat with us. And we developed a process that we think is working very well. And that is, as you're mostly familiar with, the nominations can come from any sector of the community, whether it's the administrators, it's your peer group, your teachers, the business community, parents, and students. Those nominations are all collected and then distributed by district to the selection committees who go through the process of narrowing down the finalists. That narrowing down then, or their candidates then come to the full board of the Excellence in Teaching Foundation, where the board votes on each one for confirmation. There were somewhere north of 3,000 teachers in Warren County, and that's probably an old number, maybe north of that even. And we received close to 300 nominations this year, and the selection process has brought those down to the 20 people that are here tonight. I want to make clear that this is really not an award for past performance. The business community is not much interested in history. What this is more of is a bet that we are placing on our future and your future and the future of our kids based on indications that you've given us over the past years that there's more excellence to come, especially if we recognize it. And depending on how well we recognize it, chances are you'll be emulated by some of your peers, and that's leverage at work again. So it's not a reward, it's a bet on our part, and we think it's a good one. If you look at the program, you will see certain awards with names on them. Those awards are the same as all the others. The cash amounts are the same. All that means is that those donors donated $50,000 or more towards the endowment to be recognized in perpetuity as those named awards in those districts. So congratulations, everybody. Arla, if I didn't miss anything, we'll move on ahead and start with the fun. Thank you.
Thanks, Walt. Way back when, 35 plus years ago, you, George Hankel, and you had a pretty good idea, and Warren County is better for it today. And you heard him say it started in 1988 was the first awards. That was the first year of the awards. I did not know what Project Excellent was at that time. When I saw the first year's awards in the newspaper, which in those days we had one, I called my superintendent at Little Miami and asked him, what is this award? And he started to explain it, and he said, wait, I got a meeting next week, I'll pick you up. And that was the Project Excellence board meeting. So I guess you could say the rest is history, I got hooked. But over the years in Project Excellence, there have been those teachers in Warren County who have helped my kids and my grandkids excel in their educational endeavors. My grandkids and my kids are all products of the great education in Warren County. And I know that children can't do it all on their own, and it takes the help of you people in this room that we honor here tonight to allow them to achieve and become successful. So how important are the teachers in your life? Think about a little quiz. Can you name the last 2 winners of a Miss America competition? Or can you name 5 or 10 people that were Nobel or Pulitzer Prize winners? Can you name the last 5 Heisman Trophy winners? Here's a Heisman trivia for you. Heisman Trophy winner, is a registered landscape architect. Get back to that. Can you name the last decade's World Series winners? How'd you do? Probably not very good, was it? The point is, none of us remember the headlines of yesterday. Those were not second-rate achievers. They were the best in their fields. And the applause dies and the awards go away. And tarnish, disappear. Achievements are forgotten. Accolades and certificates are buried with their owners. I know I've thrown some of those things away myself, but there's still a stack of things on a shelf in the closet. So here's another quiz. See how you do with this one. Name someone who has taught you something worthwhile. Think of the people who have aided your journey through school. Who are the teachers that helped you? For me, that's a lot easier. There is no doubt in my mind that it was Mr. Duffy at Woodward High School that made college calculus easy for me. You know what? We never had any homework in that class. And before that, it was Mrs. Broush at Pleasant Ridge School that paved the way for me with 7th and 8th grade math. Or it was Chuck Basler, who was my mentor at the University Farms manager at Ohio State, was my mentor, who showed me that I could accomplish good things outside of the classroom. The people you will never forget are not the ones with the most credentials, most money, or the most awards. It's the people who make a difference in your life, they're the ones who care, and they will live in your memory forever. And you teachers we honor here tonight, your trophies may disappear, but you will remain in the memory bank of oh so many young people who you have assisted in their educational journey. I cannot pay back Mr. Duffy for what he did for me. I learned that lesson about paying back when I was at Ohio State. As a student living in a fraternity house, I realized that somebody hadn't done something before me, that wouldn't have been there for me. And when I was up there was this guy on campus named Woody who says you have to help work for what comes after. He said, we can't pay back, you have to pay forward. And I found the same thing was true when my kids were at school. The little Miami buildings that they went to, if somebody hadn't done something before me, they wouldn't have been there. That was the case for me in high school. Woodward High School is the oldest public high school west of the Alleghenies. Started by William and Abigail Woodward in 1831. I can't pay them back. It's got to pay forward. So this leads me to Project Excellence today and into the future. We can't pay back the donors who have made this possible, but we can continue to pay forward. So what do kids today have in front of them? If you want to know more about the impact of the vast amount of information that's out there, it's real simple. Figure out what somebody's got to be learning that they don't know anything about now. All you have to do is Google or YouTube, Shift Happens, and watch the videos. All kinds of interesting statistics. One of those is in India, 25% of the population with the highest IQ is greater than the population in the United States. So that would mean that India has more potential honor students and kids than the US has. So we cannot give up on innovation and excellence. It's our teachers who build relationships and light the lamp of knowledge for our upcoming generations, and that we honor here tonight. The members of the Area Progress Council, the Project Excellence Board, and the contributors to Project Excellence Endowment and the business community as a whole know that the efforts made by the teachers and the staff in our public school system play an integral role in shaping our students in school and how to thrive and to compete, to be a positive influence in the world of tomorrow. In the very near future, we know that each and every one of these students now in school will have some kind of impact on our world's economy and our way of life. The individuals we recognize this evening are making a positive impact, and we appreciate their dedication. I know I appreciate what the teachers have contributed to my life, my children's lives, and the lives of my grandchildren. I witnessed that living proof of that in my family often. So I'll leave you with this. Who's on your list of those teachers that were special in your life? So tonight, we'll begin with, our presentations will begin with King's High School, your King's School District. And I'd like to call on our Project Excellence Board member, Lobar. He will be their MC for the evening, and board member, Ms. Bobby Grice, will hand out the awards.
Good evening, everyone. I am very excited to be here and see all of your faces tonight in person. Let's silence those cell phones and get started. And as Bill stated, we begin this evening with King's Local School District. So for the King's Local School District, members of the selection committee were Ben Yoder, attorney with Frost Brown Todd, and he was the representative for the APC, Greg Sears, superintendent, and Bobby Grice, Little Miami Chamber of Commerce, served as citizen at large. Mary Reese is the recipient of the American Financial Corporation Award. She is the kindergarten teacher at South Lebanon Elementary School. She has been teaching there for 35 years, all of that time in the King's District. She attended Miami University for a Bachelor of Science in Education, Elementary Education, K through 8, Xavier University for her Master's in Education, Early Childhood, Montessori, plus she has 30-plus hours on her Master's. She is proud to be a founding member of King's Stage Lighters Theater, Boosters in 2008, and she served on the Board of Directors for Children's Theater of Mason for 11 years. Congratulations.
Thank you. I have my old-fashioned note card, so bear with me for a moment. Thank you so much for this honor as I head into my retirement at the end of the month. I look back on my 35 years of teaching kindergarten in the same building with the same teaching partner, Cinda Metzger, and I know how lucky I have really been. There are three things that I have realized the most that have inspired me, and I want to acknowledge that. First of all, my family. My parents, Jim and Mary Lou Hunt, who are here, have shared their love for teaching for over 30 years also. They were great role models. My husband, Clay, and my children, Taylor and Morgan, have put up with the teacher life, if you know what that is, where you bring home every story there is known to man. And I was also blessed to have my kids with me at SLE for kindergarten through 4th grade, and I'm a proud King's graduate mom. Second are my colleagues. To work with the excellent people I have and to be able to advocate for teachers through KEA added true meaning to my career. This profession has changed so much over the last 3 decades. From the letter people, I see you smiling, you know who they are, right? You're thinking Mr. Munchy Mouth in your head, right? And now we do DRA, OG, and Eureka. Things have changed, but they've kept us moving forward. And of course, the kiddos. Who could not love spending over 6,000 days with 5-year-olds? They love you unconditionally and always make you smile no matter where they come from. I really should have written those stories down. It would be a bestseller. Like the time I told a young man to stop being sassy, and his response to me was, I don't even know who sassy is. Kindergartners come to me as babies, and they leave me each May as independent little souls. I grew with them over and over again. Every year, I had to start over and over again, but it was worth it. I will continue to work with kids as I volunteer with Stage Lighters Theater, the area I love so much. And in closing, I just want to say thank you for this honor and the universe for allowing me to be an educator for 12,694 days. But who's counting?
Next up, we have Mrs. Brooke Warner. She is the 7th grade English language arts teacher at King's Junior High. She has been teaching for 15 years, all in King's District. She attended Thomas More College, where she earned the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Middle School Education. She is certified in middle childhood grades 4 through 9, English Language Arts, and Social Studies. A success of which she is particularly proud is that she is in the Athletic Hall of Fame at Thomas More College and at King's High School. Congratulations.
It's hard to follow a kindergarten teacher's speech. You'd think that being someone who speaks in front of kids all day, and per my wife, I love to be the center of attention just to get a good laugh, that I'd have no problems with just giving a 1-minute acceptance speech. But to be honest, I'm more nervous speaking in front of you guys than a teacher being unexpectedly visited by their principal. Don't get any ideas, Mr. Dunn. Anyway, the suggested 1-minute speech limit got me thinking about things. 1 minute. 1 minute, I'm in 5th grade, rocking some amazing bangs in Mrs. Tuggle's class, and she's making me feel important and loved and valued. And 32 years later, I can still recall that moment like it was yesterday. Another minute, I'm a squirrely kid from South Lebanon, the original village, not the golf course place, pretending to read Stand and Deliver. I did read it, but it was at my own pace. Pretending to read Stand and Deliver in English class. And now I'm standing at this podium delivering a speech as an actual language arts teacher. Who would have ever believed it? I had no idea that our 2-minute morning walks for fresh air and fellowship, or taking a couple of minutes with the kids to do brags and bummers every day, would mean so much to them. But I'm so glad that I did. This experience has been a great reminder that as teachers, we have endless opportunities to make every minute count. I am so honored to be a Project Excellence recipient and will forever cherish this moment. Thank you.
Next, we move on to Lebanon School District. The selection committee there was Larry Hollingshead with Owl Creek Consultants as the APC representative, and Superintendent Isaac Sievers. Julie McClellan, director of the Lebanon Public Library, served as citizen at large. Mrs. Angela Saunders is the recipient of the award sponsored by Fuji Tech America Incorporated. She teaches 2nd grade at Bowman Primary School. She has been teaching for 26 years and the last 20 in the Lebanon district. She earned her degrees at Wright State University, including her master's degree in elementary education. She has a reading K through 12 endorsement. She is proud of her role as a wife and mother, 2 positions that have been the most work of anything she has ever done. They have also given her the greatest joys. Congratulations.
Okay, it's quite an honor to be up here, so thank you. Teaching is a very hard job. I don't mean grading papers or planning cute lessons hard. I mean it's really hard. Like make you cry in your bed at night? Hard. Wake up at 2 a.m. thinking about your students? Hard. Praying for safety and security for your students? Hard. It's just hard. These last few years have proven to be even more challenging type of hard. All the fear and unknowns only add to an already long list of responsibilities. So like I said, this is a hard job. So you may ask, why do we do it? Well, let me tell you why I do it. As a child, school was a place of great safety for me. I could put all my difficult things in life aside and go to school and just be a normal kid. I didn't have to have the responsibilities of an adult because when I went to school, the adults there took care of me. I knew as I grew up that this was my calling. I needed to have a place where I could provide that peace and comfort for other people. It was my calling. So I became a teacher. And after 26 years of teaching, I know that there are students that need a place that they need to call home. They don't need just a good instructor of education. They need some place that they can find that peace and security. I know I am doing what I was called to do. I am providing a place to call home, a place to belong, and most importantly, they have someone that cares about them. They need it a lot. Thank you very much.
Next, we have Mrs. Janet Tyrell. She is the 4th grade language arts and social studies teacher at Donovan Elementary. She has been teaching for 18 years, the last 15 in the Lebanon district. Her Bachelor of Science in Education, kindergarten through 8th grade, is from Miami University, and her Master's of Science in Education is from the University of Dayton. She states that she feels very successful when she tells the class it is time for recess, and they say, "No, please keep reading." Congratulations.
She could be the one. This sentence sums up one of the main reasons I teach. I read this line in a chapter book a few months ago. As a reader, you make the assumption that the adult who is stating this in the story is convinced that only this child can solve the dilemma. Later in the book, you find out that she said this about numerous students. That's how I feel about my students. I'm surrounded by our society's future every day, and each one of the students I teach might be that one. I might be looking at a future comedian who brings laughter to millions. Maybe the shy girl in my class who just happens to be an amazing swimmer might someday become an Olympian. The boy who loves to read might grow up to have 4 kids who he reads to every night, using different voices for each character. The deep thinker who asks questions that I've never thought of might cure cancer. The reason I teach is that I have the privilege to play a small part in 9 and 10-year-old lives. And who knows, they might all just be that one.
Moving on to Little Miami schools. The
Sorry.
No, it's fine. The members of the selection committee there were Bill Thornton, Director of Leadership Warren County for APC, Superintendent Greg Power, and along with Ralph Blanton, Exit Realty, who served as the citizen at large. Nicole Dunigan is the Spanish teacher for the Little Miami Middle and High School. She has been teaching for 10 years, the last 6 in the Little Miami district. Her Bachelor of Arts is from Northern Kentucky University, secondary education, and Spanish. She attended University of Central Missouri for her Master of Science in Education Technology. She is proud that she earned 2 degrees and maintained a 4.0 GPA while working full-time. Congratulations.
Thank you. I once read that the most popular reasons to become a teacher are to share a love of learning and to have the opportunity to give back. I've been the student of many different educators, and I suppose that these individuals could not have differed more in personality and approach. But one thing was certain: each gave back and inspired through their own love of learning, which is something they all had in common. Even from my earliest memories, in the presence of these educators was the feeling of safety, comfort, and belonging. Those early years were crucial in helping me to attain my own love of learning. I've always been fortunate to have teachers who cared, invested, and went the extra mile. Many of them would even say, "If you aren't meant to be a teacher, I'm not sure what you are meant to be." While I took their words to heart and intended to fulfill them, I first had to experience a world outside of education for myself. It was during this stage I spent several years working for an emergency room, where I became aware of an urgent need in my community, and I watched many Spanish-speaking patients face unnecessary communication barriers when seeking medical care. With this emerged the need to do something more meaningful with my time, so I decided to devote the next 5 years to becoming a Spanish teacher. Upon my return to the university, it seemed that everything had changed. New, unknown technology was everywhere, and for the first time, a previous place of comfort and familiarity was now intimidating. But one thing had not changed. There were still inspiring, caring educators willing to take me under their wing. And learning a new language was one of the most challenging things I've ever done. In some of my lowest moments, I did wonder if I should just surrender and move on. But somehow, I could still hear the words of encouragement that were instilled in me long ago from my former teachers, that I was strong and capable and to never give up. These affirmations helped to carry me through and push me forward. I would not be here today without the teachers who shaped me and influenced the teacher I was meant to become. Each has helped me in unique ways, even if it was simply showing me how to be a kind and supportive role model. It is through what they made possible that I've had the privilege to share my love of learning, passion for language, and to pay it forward to more than 2,000 students in the hope that I can give back, inspire, or simply even be that voice of confidence years later if one day they too find themselves in need of encouragement. This reflection prompted me to consider, did those who taught us, and even those who went before, ever truly grasp the extent of their reach? Therefore, I will conclude with a quote from Henry Adams. A teacher affects eternity and can never tell where the influence stops. Thank you.
Next up, we have Brandy Phillips, who has been teaching 17 years, the last in the Little Miami system. She is the high school counselor. She attended the Wilmington College for her bachelor's degree in secondary education. Her master's in school counseling is from Xavier University. She is proud of reaching her 10th year as a school counselor and now leading the school counseling department at Little Miami. She is grateful for the welcoming environment that Little Miami provides, and she is proud of the career program that she helped to build at the high school to help students find the right career paths.
Thank you. So I stand here in a kind of a different role than a lot of people because I am in the school counseling role instead of the classroom. But just to give you a little background on how I ended up in the counseling role, I was the kid that loved school. I absolutely loved school from preschool through college. School was my place. I was excited to be there, and there was never a doubt that I was going into education. So I started going into education with high school English, and I did teach high school English for 7 years. And going into high school English, I was so excited to, share this love of Shakespeare and Great Gatsby and all of my favorites. But I quickly learned, as all educators do, that it's a hard job. And I say it's hard not because of the extra work that we put in or, because of the diverse needs that we have, but because of the personal factors that the kids were bringing into the classroom every day. And it broke my heart. And it was so hard when I had students dealing with homelessness, and I had students dealing with abuse, and students dealing with drugs, and a lot of things that you see at the high school level that they were bringing into the classroom and not focused on the content, and I could understand why. So at that point, I just made the decision that I don't think the greatest impact that I could provide was going to be in the classroom teaching that next great novel, though I love them and wish it was. But I thought that a greater impact for myself and my purpose would actually be to teach that next great kid how to overcome those obstacles so they could be successful in the classroom and they could enjoy school as much as I did. So I made the switch to school counseling, which I've done for 10 years now at Little Miami, and I am so happy that I did. I can say with confidence that counseling is my purpose in life, and I'm very thankful that I found it. I still get to work with students on their academics, which I love. But I also get to help students in so many other facets now. So now we get to work with students on finding career paths that excite them and making future plans for them in all different paths, college versus career, coming here to the Warren County Career Center. We get to come here quite often and visit our students here as well, and it's great to see the diverse interests that they have. And I get to work with kids who are struggling with those mental health concerns. So now instead of being in the classroom and trying my best to work with them, I get to sit and work with them on positive coping skills and reach out and get them the help that they might need. And with anxiety and depression being up, especially right now, it's a big time that we need to work on those skills. So I'm very happy in the role that I have. And though I still love teaching, because I do, and I think that that will always be a large part of my heart, I'm very thankful for the opportunity to teach personal growth skills now. So that's how I see myself. So I could not be more thankful than to do this with my amazing team at Little Miami. Over the past 10 years, I've been given so much support and kindness from our Board of Education, everyone at Central Office, and my administration at the high school. With their collaboration, we've been able to build such an amazing program. We have academic supports in place, tutoring programs, after-school help, credit recovery classes. We've built a robust career program that includes internships, partnerships with local businesses, and job shadowing opportunities that I am beyond proud of. And our mental health program is expanding as we speak to include more mental health support to meet the needs of our students. And I absolutely love what I do. And I feel so blessed to be here tonight and to share that excitement with all of you. So thank you very much.
Now we come to Mason City Schools. The selection committee for Mason City Schools is APC Representative Ken Natorp, Chairman of the William A. Natorp Corporation, Superintendent Jonathan Cooper, and Mike Gagan, Lebanon Minuteman Press, served as citizen at large. The Mitsubishi Electric Manufacturing Cincinnati, Inc. Award is presented to Tina Roberts, the 9th through 12th grade visual arts teacher at Mason High School. All of her 23-year career has been with the Mason District. She attended the University of Cincinnati for her Bachelor's of Fine Arts with a K through 12 visual art certificate, and her Master's in Education is from the University of Dayton with a computer technology endorsement. She is particularly proud of completing her National Board certification in 2013. Congratulations.
No paper. I should have written something down, but when I was in high school, I had a guidance counselor that told me that college was probably not the next best step for me. But fortunately, I had an amazing art teacher that believed in me and encouraged me. And she was like that with all of her students. She had a warm, welcoming smile. Everybody felt comfortable and loved and encouraged and supported. She took everybody under her wing, including myself. And so I applied to and was accepted into the DAP program at UC. And I didn't know that I wanted to go into education. It took me a while. It's another story for another time. But once I decided I wanted to be a teacher, I knew that I wanted to be that kind of teacher. I wanted my students to feel the same way in my classroom that she made me feel in hers. So I thank Ms. Shelley Brower for that. So that is it. Yes, thank you.
Okay. The Worthington Custom Plastics Award goes to Allison Sears, 8th grade science teacher at Mason Middle School. This is her 24th year teaching the last 22 in the Mason District. She has a Bachelor of Science in Chemistry and a Bachelor of Arts in Botany from Miami University, Oxford, Ohio. And her Master's of Arts in Teaching is also from Miami University. She is very proud that in 2017 she successfully ran and finished the Columbus Full Marathon after fracturing her ankle from training just 12 days before the start of the race. That is amazing. Congratulations.
I'm still a bit. Maya Angelou said, "I have learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." When I was a 7th grader at Sycamore Junior High, I was 5 feet tall, maybe 100 pounds, and my tennis coach and PE teacher gave me the adoring nickname of Big Al, and it stuck with me 35 years later. When I was in 8th grade, I was so nervous about giving the speech at the pep rally as the captain of the tennis team that I couldn't fill in a single blank on my Anne Frank test. And my teacher showed empathy, compassion, and love. And she noticed, she helped me to relax, and she gave me a second chance on that test. When I was homecoming queen my senior year in high school, my science teacher nicknamed me the term of endearment, Queenie, and he called me that every day for the rest of the school year. You see, I had teachers that built into me and developed meaningful relationships. I don't remember exactly what they said or specifically what they did, but I sure do know and remember how they made me feel. My teachers inspired me to carry the and to invest in the next generation. It's meaningful relationships like these that I have invested in and built over the past 24 years with my students, with my colleagues, with my administrators, parents, and community that make me absolutely love being a teacher. These meaningful relationships inspire me to be better today than I was yesterday and better tomorrow than I am today. Thank you.
On to Springboro. Springboro Community City Schools. Serving on the selection committee were Tyler Tepe, VP of Commercial Lending at LC&B National Bank. He was the representative for the APC. Larry Hook is superintendent, and Vicki Sweeney, director at Springboro Public Library, serving as citizen at large. Mrs. Elizabeth Andrews is the recipient of the Pioneer Industrial Components Incorporated Award. She is the 9th and 10th grade honors and college prep biology teacher at Springboro High School. She has been teaching for 17 years, 16 in the Springboro district. Her Bachelor of Science is from Miami University in Earth Life Sciences, Adolescent Education, grades 7 through 12. Her Master's of Science is from Nova Southeastern University in Environmental Education, and she has Master's plus 21 semester hours. She has served as a volunteer in summer externship with the Newport Aquarium as part of Miami University's 2-year iDiscovery program. She has also served as an associate board member for the Boonshoff Museum. She is proud of students' light bulb moments. She is grateful she gets to advise student teen mentors serving their borough buddies. She is proud to be an advisor for the school's first Envirothon team, and she is proud to have been the head cross-country coach when the girls' team qualified for state in 2008 and 2009. Congratulations.
I'm grateful to be here this evening, and I'm grateful for those in my district. Back in 2004, it was a little bit hard to believe that I would be here today if you'd have told me that. I was a student teacher at Springboro Junior High in the fall of 2004. Then I did after student teaching, I did coach as an assistant coach for the junior high, Springboro for track. And interestingly enough, my son is running this evening in a track meet for Springboro Junior High. So it all comes full circle. But anyways, I've always loved science, and I've always had this joy of wanting to help others. So it's been exciting. There have been so many cool opportunities, not just in the classroom, but experiencing with the Warren County Soil and Water Conservation District, with Borough Buddies, so the counselors in the elementary buildings, with the museums that we've talked about. But it's been really cool experiences to bring all that neat, exciting, and kind of gross stuff for students to get engaged. And I'm really appreciative of the administrators for being supportive of all that. And I'm grateful for my family for also helping me with all that. 'Cause they've gone and picked up skulls with me at Miami and all kinds of gross stuff. So thank you for being supportive, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Mrs. Amy Pelletier teaches 4th grade math and science at 5 Points Elementary. She has been teaching 15 years, the last 10 in the Springboro District. She went to Siena College in Albany, New York, and was a psychology major. From there, she went to Wheelock College, Boston University, for her master's in elementary education. She is proud to have run 10 half marathons. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This is still kind of a shock for me. I don't know why, it just is. There's some people here that are here for me, and I'm tried to get them not to come, and they completely insisted on coming. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys believe in me more than I believe in myself. I failed kindergarten. I didn't speak a word of English going to kindergarten, only French. I was an outcast. I was made fun of. I did not belong. I remember sitting outside the classroom, just myself and my tutor, trying to teach me how to speak English. Kids made fun of me. I didn't have any friends. I hated English. I mean, I hated French at this point because I spoke French and French wasn't cool. I hated school. And that stuck with me almost all through high school. I decided to become a teacher because I wanted to make sure that students that were different were valued, that students that are different are treated like they're special. I hated school, so I want my students to love school. Having fun in the classroom is number one for me. I know I'm not supposed to thank people, but there's people right here that are just the most incredible educators that believe in me. And my partner in crime, Lindsay Slamer, is here. And we have the opportunity to co-teach and teach together. And I go to school every single day and have fun. And the kids see that, and they want to be there. And that, to me, is the most meaningful thing, because kids have fun, kids want to be at school, children love school, and they feel like they are special because they're different. So thank you, and I'm completely honored and blessed.
Now it's time to go to Wayne Local School District. The selection committee was comprised of APC Representative Richard Jones, Superintendent Pat Dubbs, and Kelly Maloney, Mary L. Cook Library, serving as citizen at large. The Samuel D. Henkel and Nellie W. Henkel Award is presented to Janella Gaver. I hope I said that right. First grade teacher at Waynesville Elementary and district test coordinator. She has been teaching 11 years, the last 7 in the Wayne District. She has a Bachelor of Science degree in Early Childhood Education from Wright State University with a 4.5 endorsement from Ohio University. She is proud of being a mom to 3 children and teaching them all to read, to be kind, and to make as many memories as they can each day.
In 1994, I walked into Waynesville Elementary and started first grade in room 115 with Mrs. Beckett. She had a sign hanging in her classroom that read, "Your very best will do just fine." Mrs. Beckett taught me to always do my best, to work hard, and to be kind. That year, I wrote in my writing journal that when I grew up, I wanted to be a first grade teacher just like Mrs. Beckett. Over time, my dream changed. I wanted to be a first grade teacher at Waynesville Elementary. I wanted to teach in the district and at the school where they taught kids to always do their best, to work hard, and to be kind. My 6-year-old dream came true. Only instead of teaching like Mrs. Beckett, I get to teach with Mrs. Beckett in a brand new first grade hallway with the best team of first grade teachers who still teach kids to always do their best, to work hard, and to be kind. A lot has changed at Waynesville Elementary since 1994. Thankfully, the teachers are no longer wearing denim jumpers with matching holiday sweaters. Now, we save those for Ugly Sweater Day. We finally have air conditioning, and room 115 is currently being renovated as part of our new 6th grade academy. As I continue to dream big about my future and the future of education, I can't imagine working anywhere other than Waynesville Elementary. It's my hope that someday when the students who sat in my classroom grow up and are recognized as being excellent in their fields, that they look back at their time at Waynesville Elementary and remember to always do their best, to always work hard, and to always be kind. Thank you.
Janae James is the kindergarten teacher at Waynesville Elementary School. She has been teaching for 17 years and with the Wayne District for the last 12 years. She attended Wright State University for her Bachelor of Science in Education, her Master of Science in Education, her Master of Science in Special Education, and her Pre-K Special Needs endorsement. She is proud that as a teacher, she sees the tremendous growth and progress that students achieve. As a coach, she is proud of leading the girls' varsity basketball team to the state Final Four in 2005, with her younger sister as a player. And also leading the boys' varsity cross-country team to the state runner-up championship in 2020. Congratulations.
Good evening. It is truly a great honor to stand here tonight with all of you as we celebrate the fantastic teachers across this incredible county. I congratulate all of you. In life, we often ask why. Why did we become educators? I am a kindergarten teacher and I coach multiple sports, including cross country, girls basketball, track and field, and youth soccer. I became both a teacher and a coach as a result of my personal experiences as a child. I knew very early on at a young age that I wanted to become a teacher. I have fond memories of playing school with my 2 younger sisters, teaching using a whiteboard in front of a class of dolls and stuffed animals. And then as I grew through my K-12 educational experiences, my passion for teaching continued to be ignited. I realized what a positive impact a teacher and a coach can have on students. I, in fact, like Janelle, attended Wayne local schools in grades K through 12, which is the same school district that I'm teaching at now. This is a very special experience for me. Many teachers that I had in school growing through Waynesville Elementary at Wayne local schools reached out and congratulated me on receiving this award. And while graciously accepting their kind words and congratulations, I in turn was able to thank them for having such a positive impact on my life and for inspiring me to become a teacher, which ultimately led me to this moment before you tonight. One of the most exciting aspects of the teaching profession is that it gives we teachers a chance to witness the measure of dramatic growth and progress and improvement in our students' performance. My kindergartners come to me at various stages of knowledge. Thus, differentiated teaching is paramount to meet each student's needs. By the end of the year, my students can read, they can write, they've developed strong number sense skills in math. It is truly incredible to see the tremendous growth and progress that my students achieve each year. My goal is to help all of my students reach this level of success each year and to always make a positive impact on each and every student's life that I touch through both teaching and coaching. In closing, this award symbolizes what Wayne Local Schools strives to do every day with our students, and that is to strive for excellence. I encourage everyone in this room to continue striving for excellence as we return to our respective classrooms and educate the wonderful students across Warren County. Each one of us in this room wants nothing more than to create possibilities for our students, have a positive impact on their lives, and to help them learn and achieve success. So let us all continue this great effort. I want to thank everyone involved, including my wonderful family and the members of the Area Progress Council for this great honor. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
Next, we're in the Warren County Career Center, which we're in. Members of the selection committee were Jonathan Sams, partner with Sams Fisher LLC, Area Progress Council representative, Superintendent Rick Smith, and Citizen at Large John Wonderly. Mr. Nicholas Otto is a Career Center satellite engineering instructor in the Wayne Local District, grades 7 through 12. He instructs multiple Project Lead the Way engineering classes in Gateway, Introduction to Engineering Design, Aerospace Engineering, Digital Electronics, Principles of Engineering, and Senior Design class Advanced Design and Robotics. It's amazing. He has been teaching for 6 years, the last 4 for the Career Center. He has a Bachelor of Science in History from the University of Cincinnati, Applied Science degree in Mechanical Engineering Technology from Cincinnati State. His post-baccalaureate certificate in STEM teaching and learning is from the University of Cincinnati, and graduating this summer, his Master of Education in Curriculum and Instruction will be from the University of Cincinnati. He is proud when his students tell him how he has made a positive impact on their lives by writing letters, talking to him in class, or nominating him for recognition. Congratulations.
It's an honor to be here tonight. I had something written, and I'll try and stick to it to keep it brief. Why did I become a teacher in general? So I had a lot of options when I came out of my last engineering degree. But I was inspired by some teachers that came before me, I think a lot like other teachers here today, and I just felt like that was the place for me, and so I ran for it, and just felt like there was an opportunity to build the foundation of our future with our students there. So now 6.5 years in, still rolling with it, and why am I continuing to go with it? Well, I feel like I'm making a difference every day in my classroom, and that is amazing. And there are some dark days, like all of us know that have been in a classroom. It's tough. So the analogy I like to use is golf. Those of you that have played golf, it's a wonderful game or it's a terrible game. A lot of bad strokes out there, but it just takes one good stroke to get you back out there the next time. And I think that's a lot like teaching. Just one student that you feel like you made a difference with will get you going for the rest of the year, maybe the rest of the career that you have. And that's kind of how I feel about what I've done here at the Career Center and in Waynesville. So thank you for the opportunity today, and have a good evening.
Next, we have Miss Holly Todd. She is the dental assisting instructor at the Atrium Green Tree Health Science Academy. She's been teaching for 6 years, all with Warren County Career Center. She attended Scarlet Oaks for dental assisting, holds her certificate in pedorthics from Northwestern University, also holds certification in orthotics and mastectomy from SAI Industries, and has a resident educator certification from Bowling Green State University. She has had the pleasure of raising 3 children, built 2 custom homes, and has owned a shoe store. She has saved a life, lobbied Capitol Hill, and served as First Lady. In addition, she is particularly proud of the dental assisting program that has been created in the last 6 years. She is grateful to watch her students grow in confidence and realize their goals. Congratulations.
Thank you. I thought I might be a little nervous stepping up here to speak in front of such a large group of people. However, this is nothing compared to walking into a class of juniors from 10 different schools, and they have no idea who they are, where they are, and they don't know anyone in the classroom. So this is a little easier than that, or compared to seniors who are 2 weeks from graduation and have completely checked out, and you have to keep them engaged for 2.5 hours every day until the end of the school year arrives. So this is a little easier than that, and I appreciate the opportunity. I had no clue that anyone thought that this was, I was deserving of such an honor. I want to thank those of you that believed in me enough to think that I was deserving of such a wonderful opportunity and honor. And I come from the career tech world. I graduated from career tech school, and we speak of teachers who make a difference in our lives. And my dental assisting instructor, Lee Weiss, and Karen Spradlin were 2 of the most amazing people and had such an influence in my life. I wasn't a lover of school until I went to career tech. And for those of you that don't have a lot of experience with career tech, it can be life-changing for many people. It was for me. So here I stand 42 years later, teaching in a career tech environment. And those of you that teach career tech, I also teach adult ed as well as high school. I'm supposed to be teaching class tonight. I'm here instead. However, my students are here with me, so they're learning a little different educationally tonight. So thank you, all of you, for this honor and the opportunity to be here. And students, in the next, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years, when I finally decide to retire, maybe you'll be standing here or standing in front of my classroom looking at those juniors that don't have a clue what they're doing. So you can be that inspiration for them. So thank you, and have a lovely night.
Warren County Educational Service Center. Members of the selection committee were Bill Thornton, Area Progress Council Representative, Tom Isaacs, Superintendent, and Walt Davis, Citizen at Large. Mrs. Pamela Hobbs is the English teacher at the John K. Lazarus Alternative, Lazarus, no, it says Lazarus. Lazarus, thank you. Alternative School, grades 7 through 12. She has been teaching 37 years, the last 22 at the Alternative School. She attended Texas Women's University in Denton, Texas for her BA in English, and her master's in education is from Xavier University in Cincinnati. A success of which she is proud is that she discovered Google Classroom in 2014, and the school has been utilizing ever since. She is exceptionally proud anytime a student comes back to see her, anytime a student returns to their home school and graduates, anytime a struggling student hangs in there, powers through, and succeeds. To note, this is the second time Pam has been chosen for this recognition. The first time was in 2002. Congratulations.
Thank you. I've taught English at the alternative school for the last 22 years. I was pleasantly surprised and really very humbled to learn that I had been selected for this honor. As teachers, you know, you just go about your day doing your thing, never expecting to get any recognition for it. You just do what you do because that's what you do. Now, don't get me wrong, an atta girl every once is almost a welcome, sometimes even a needed thing. And if I've learned anything at all while working at the alternative school, I've learned that those little positive atta whoever's go a long way in building relationships with even the most difficult student. And as you know, because you do this every single day, trying to build relationships with some of your students can be really downright painful. The second thing I've learned while working at the alternative school is to never give up. My students don't realize it, and when they finally figure it out, it's just a little bit too late. But I'm going to win them over with my wonderful sense of humor, and some might call it nagging, but I like to call it unwavering persistence. I have a fairly new student who wouldn't even write his first name on his paper, and he told me, "You ain't going to get me to do any work while I'm here." He's a freshman, by the way, and if you teach freshmen, you know freshmen. It took some time, lots of opportunities for him to appreciate my sense of humor, but he's finally come over to the right side. Nagging, I mean persistence, does pay off. I want to say a quick thank you to my husband for always putting up with me, and thank you again. This is truly a very meaningful honor for me. Thank you.
The Carlisle Local School District. Scott Wolf of Advix is the APC representative. Dr. David Vay is the superintendent, and Stephanie Spatz, Associate Vice President and Branch Manager at People's Bank, serving as citizen at large. Mrs. Heather Bishop teaches 3rd grade at Carlisle Elementary School. She has been teaching 20 years, the last 13 in the Carlisle district. She attended Miami University to earn her Bachelor's of Science in Elementary Education, and her Master in the Art of Teaching is from Marygrove College. She is proud of her ability to understand her students' individual needs, develop an educational plan, and teaching strategies to assist them in meeting their maximum potential. Congratulations.
Hi, good evening. Imagine the aha moment when a struggling student finally understands a concept being taught. Imagine being that go-to person when there's no place else to go. Imagine giving second chances, being a role model, and providing a safe learning environment. Moments like these are the reasons I teach. No 2 days are the same. Each day, there's a new plan, a new challenge to meet, or something new to learn. But that also means that each day is a fresh start. I teach because I care, and I have the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of my students. In conclusion, teaching is an honor that allows me to support and lift up students to do their best despite the obstacles in their path. This is why I became a teacher. Being here this evening with so many inspiring educators is humbling, and I am honored to be part of this wonderful event. Thank you so much.
Diane Johnson teaches 5th grade math at Carlisle Elementary. She has taught all of her 30-year career in the Carlisle district. She received her bachelor degree from Miami University, her master's degree from Wright State University, and she has taken various courses from Walsh University and a physics program from University of Cincinnati. Also simple K through 12, Google, math, and leadership courses. The success she is most proud of is being named 2019 State of Ohio Teacher of the Year and Wright State Chapter Teacher of the Year 2019. Note, Ms. Johnson has received the Project Excellence Award twice before, in 2004 and 2017.
Short up here.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't write a speech because I wanted it to come from my heart. When I was a third grader, I thought I want to be a teacher. Taught my stuffed animals in my bedroom, and that's never gone away. When I got married and was an adult and not just a kid going into college, excuse me, I went back with my daughter hanging on my pocket. She's right over here. And she went to almost every class I went to. So when I graduated, I made sure she was acknowledged for it too. I can't imagine any other thing in my life I could do. I love my kids. I see many of them every day, and their hugs mean more to me than anything. Thank you.
Franklin City Schools. The selection committee for Franklin consisted of APC Representative Steve Rote, President of McGill Smith Puncheon, Inc., Superintendent Dr. Michael Sander, and Citizen at Large Martha Bush, Director of the Franklin Public Library. And our first recipient is Eileen Ebeling. She teaches 8th grade math and 9th grade algebra 1 at Franklin Junior High. She has been teaching for 13 years, all in the Franklin School District. She attended Miami University, Oxford, Ohio for her Bachelor of Science education, middle childhood 4 through 9, mathematics, reading and science, language arts and reading 4 through 6, generalist. She states that there has been no greater success in her life than raising her 4 children, Craig, Patrick, Jacqueline, and Josh. It has been an amazing journey watching them grow up into responsible, successful, compassionate adults. She started earning her teaching degree when her youngest child started kindergarten. So they were her first students who introduced her to the joy of teaching. Congratulations.
Good evening. My path to becoming a teacher has been far from traditional. My college career started at Miami University in 1983 as a systems analyst. On October 17th of my freshman year, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer and subsequently passed away a year later. My 3.8 GPA at midterms quickly turned to a 1.8. Grades were no longer easy nor mattered. I eventually failed out of Miami. I began waiting tables at Montgomery Inn and eventually married and became a stay-at-home mom, a job I absolutely loved. At the age of 40, I found myself divorced with 1 child in college, 3 children in elementary school, and no career path to support my children. So after putting my kids on the bus, I started to attend classes at Miami University for a second time, but this time in middle childhood education. It took me over 20 years to attain my bachelor's degree, graduating magna cum laude. I understand the value of an education. I know that all children can learn, but also that not all children are in a place where they are capable of giving 100% due to other factors in their lives. My experiences as a teenager losing my mom taught me that it is our relationships in life that matter the most. I am truly blessed to teach Franklin City School students and to work with an amazing team. I cannot imagine any career more satisfying than knowing that a child's life has been impacted for the better. Matt, Jacqueline, and Josh, thank you for your sacrifice of time with me for the betterment of my students over the years. I also want to thank whomever nominated me for this award. I am beyond grateful. Finally, I want to thank everyone involved in putting together this lovely evening. Thank you.
Debbie Irwin works with all grades in the Franklin City District, teaching English as a second or other language. She has been teaching for 30 years and the last 28 in the Franklin District. She received her Bachelor's of Science in Education from Ohio University. In 2000, she earned her Master's in English and teaching English as a second or other language from Wright State University in 2000. And her TESOL endorsement from Wright State in 2020. She is proud to have fostered over 150 kittens over the past 8 years for SICSA, which is the Society for the Improvement of Conditions for Stray Animals Pet Adoption Wellness Center. Well, that's pretty impressive. Congratulations.
Thank you. We're talking here? Okay. Yeah, all those kittens weren't at the same time. Okay. I didn't always know I was going to be a teacher. If you asked me when I was younger, I would have said I wanted to be a ballerina or a mermaid. And I was, it wasn't like I hated school or anything. I was like really, really good at school. When I went in the 1970s-ish. And I was really good at sitting in the real straight rows and starting on page 1 of our basal readers and finishing at the last day of school. And all my teachers were older than my grandma and they just loved me. But I never really thought about being a teacher until I was in 5th grade. And in walks Miss Mary Frazee with this wild curly red hair, fresh out of college. And she had beanbag chairs. And she had a reading corner. We didn't touch those basal readers. We read Charlotte's Web and Island of the Blue Dolphins. She was crazy enough to let us do paper mache globes with glitter in class. And we even painted with dead fish and made prints on paper. It was crazy. And so I realized in 5th grade that I wasn't just good at school, that I was really good at learning, and I loved learning. And I decided at the end of 5th grade that that is what I wanted to do with my life, to make kids love learning. So here's a shout out to Mary Frazee and all those teachers in our lives that have made us the educators we are today. Thank you.
Selection Committee for the Greater Ohio Virtual School. Members of the selection committee were Eric Reiners, Deerfield Township Administrator and APC Representative, Sean Lenny, Superintendent, and Angie Smith, Director of Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce and Citizen at Large. Vicki Hammock has been teaching for 38 years, the last 6 for the Greater Ohio Virtual School, working with the special education students, grades 7 through 12. She attended Wright State University to earn her bachelor's degree in education and her master's degree in teacher leader, curriculum, and supervision. She holds certifications in elementary education 1 through 8, special education K through 12, including developmental developmentally handicapped, severe behavior handicap, and specific learning disabled. Her greatest success in life was raising her son and daughter, especially after the loss of her husband at a young age. They have both made her very proud. They are successful, compassionate, and driven individuals who in their own careers also enjoy working with students. She is also very proud of every student she has worked with over the years, those who have put forth great effort to overcome their challenges and persevered through all types of circumstances. Congratulations.
First of all, I want to say I'm very honored for this award tonight. My journey in education began many years ago. I loved being in school. I loved pretending to be a teacher. I had many inspiring teachers at Springboro. I attended their K through 12. And it wasn't until my senior year when I had the opportunity to go to the elementary school and work with students that I really discovered my passion of working with struggling students. So in addition to my elementary certification, I decided to get a special education certification. And fast forward, here I am 38 years later. I've worked in special education, 32 years of that at Carlisle schools, and then now the last 6 at Ohio Virtual School. And I have worked with students first grade through 12th grade, helping those little first graders learn their letters and their sounds and reading their first words, helping students along the way with their reading, and clear up to where I am now working with seniors to get them across that finish line. And it is just so exciting and so rewarding when you see your students achieve things that they never thought they'd be able to do, and to see their self-esteem grow. It is just so rewarding, and it's what continues to fuel my passion for what I do today. Thank you.
The Warren County business community is very grateful for the 20 teachers we just met. These men and women are inspiring our future leaders with dedication and vision, preparing them for their future and ours with information and then testing their proficiency. July 20th, 1969, a former Lebanon, Warren County resident, Neil Armstrong, left a footprint on the moon. And as Neil would say, that's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Do you think his teachers at Bloom High School in Wapakoneta had any idea he would be the first man to walk on the moon? Mae Jemison is an engineer, physician, and NASA astronaut. She served in the Peace Corps for 3 years. She flew into space in 1992 as a member of the Endeavour crew. I doubt that in 1961, her kindergarten teacher knew little May Carroll would someday touch the stars. We are grateful to these inspiring and dedicated educators. The members of the Area Progress Council and Project Excellence are committed to supporting public education. Remember, Project Excellence is a nonprofit 501c3 foundation made possible by the volunteer efforts of visionary business leaders who are interested in the quality of public education in Warren County. It is funded solely through the generous contributions of supportive Warren County individuals, industries, and businesses. Thank you to this evening's sponsors: Bricker and Eckler, Walt and Amy Davis, GMI Companies, Maggie Hess, LC&B National Bank, Laura and myself, Sam Lobar, Matt and Kara Nolan, the Schuler Group, Shakel & Farms, Sinclair College and Mason, and West Banco. Their generous financial contributions have helped to make this a very special evening, and we are thankful for the involvement and support of each school district. Also, the Area Progress Council of Warren County, Inc., Board of Directors, and the Project Excellence Advisory Board wish to thank all of the contributors who have made the Project Excellence Foundation possible. We are eternally grateful to the endowment donors listed in the program. Without them, none of this would be possible. Special appreciation to the following: Melissa Knepp of Knepp Photographic for the portraits, flowers from the rafters for the corsages and boutonnieres, Brickhouse Engraving and Design Studio for the trophies, Minuteman Press, Lebanon for the programs, and William A. Natorp Company for stage decorations. Remember, you can nominate an educator anytime throughout the year. Just go to the APC website and search the menu for Project Excellence. And now, the time you've been waiting for. The most important words of this evening. Dinner is ready. Please enjoy your meal.